Radio, wrestling podcast featuring Ramen Bomber and Rav and the one and only Peanut. Woo! Jobber Radio, Jobber Radio, Jobber Radio, Jobber Radio. Bitches.
You just got paid like $1 million for a minute.
Per move.
It took him longer to get dressed. Look.
Why was he shirtless?
Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
And then it's the Rumble.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Jobber Radio. Now, this is going to be a first, because this is the first time that Jake, a.k.a. Bomber, could not make it because his internet apparently is not working. So, we only have 3 of us here, myself, Matt, Zion, we have Scott, and Lee, and we are going to be going over both the NXT TakeOver and WWE Survivor Series 2016. How are both you guys doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, wasn't that like the best intro you've ever heard? Wasn't that made? I think I should just take over the show from now on.
Well, I think the reason Bomber didn't show up is because he was in a part of the country that is affected by Trump's New America. So,
yeah. I just got into with somebody was trying to explain to me how Obama wanted to censor the internet and how Trump will try to save us from that, and I tried to explain to them every politician wants every part of the internet censored. If you don't believe that, you're an idiot. So
Trump uses Twitter himself.
All of them want to censor it.
Actually use it to make things go away, he would.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
God.
That's the way it is.
But anyway,
so
enough politics.
let's get into this thing. I think we should just talk about the elephant in the room first, because everybody wants to know about one fucking thing, and that way, if they just want to hear about that, then they can move on. Lesnar and Goldberg. I mean, that's pretty much the big deal. So what happened here is I actually didn't watch this live, by the way. I was doing a bug dinner tasting in Hollywood. And then I got like 1,000 tweets going, what the fuck was that? And then I looked it up and stuff. Came home and I watched it. So they had a big build. Obviously, Survivor Series was basically centered around Goldberg and Lesnar. That was the match that was bringing not only the recurring fans in, but also there was a lot of people that had not watched wrestling in a while that were coming back just for this because of Goldberg, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And they also made it one of their big 4, making it a 4-hour show again. Like, that's their new thing.
Oh, God, yeah, I hate that.
SummerSlam, WrestleMania, this, and probably the Rumble are 4 hours, I'm willing to bet.
So, so they come out. I liked all the entrances, by the way. I felt it had a really big feel to it. I felt like that's one thing that Lesnar still brings to the table, even though I can't stand him, is it still feels special when he comes out for these big-time matches. And then how about Scott? Go ahead, tell us exactly what happens as soon as the bell rings.
The bell rings. They look at each other. Lesnar kind of picks him up in like a kind of a lift and pushes him back in the corner. Goldberg yells at him, shoves him with both hands. Lesnar falls on his butt, smirks. This is taking longer than it happened, by the way. The match is over by now.
Yeah, as you're explaining, it's already done.
Turns around. Lesnar turns around to stand back up, gets speared. Crowd goes ape shit. Backs up, spears him again. Heyman starts begging. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go out on a limb here and say, I think you, Scott, are you mixed on it, or are you completely against it? Okay. You're mixed.
Very mixed.
Lee is positive on it, right?
I liked it, yeah.
And I am just sad.
Yeah, I can see both. So
I am
where do you
just.
want to start?
I would like to hear.
Sad to happy?
I would like to hear positive first. So Lee, you would be the last person I would expect to really like this, but I want to hear why. Like, go into your detail. Why did you like this booking decision?
Okay, well, I'm coming from the perspective now of where I don't really give a fuck about the long term of the WWE anymore. I'm such a casual watcher now where I'm more interested in great matches and great moments, and it was a fucking great moment. And obviously, Lesnar apparently reports are that he signed on for extra matches before this match. Now,
Lesnar or Goldberg?
Or Goldberg, I mean, was signed on for matches after this. I guess he's going to be in the Rumble now. So apparently they're looking for some long-term juice out of this, at least for the year. And I mean, let's face it. The WWE is all about ratings. They're all about trying to get people drawn to their screens, and Goldberg has been that for them in the last few weeks. He's been the only really positive thing in the last few weeks as far as fan reaction, and fan reaction for a face, which is so fucking rare now in the WWE. WWE used to be a face company, but now it's like a heel-dominated company for the most part. And Goldberg's been one of the few faces that has gotten like a genuine face reaction since like Daniel Bryan, and it's worked. I mean, honestly, I can see where, yeah, this doesn't make sense booking wise. It's a very short term kind of fix. It's just a band-aid for WrestleMania. Like, I could see them stretching this out for the rematch at WrestleMania, and I know people don't like that. And I don't necessarily like it either. Like, I'd much rather see like Samoa Joe. And honestly, if they had decided to put Samoa Joe in this place, doing this with Samoa Joe, killing Lesnar, and then having a rematch would be even more interesting. But I'm okay with it. I'll take what they got, and I don't buy this argument that this hurts Lesnar. I think that's bullshit. I think Lesnar is not hurt by this at all. He's been built so strong for so many years now, and he'll be a draw no matter fucking what, and he can be rehabbed no matter what. So,
all right, then, well, Scott, I'm going to save you because I want the mixed result next.
Okay.
So I agree with you. I don't think this is going to hurt Lesnar much at all, personally, just because, I mean, he's Lesnar at this point. He's got the aura still. I don't think that's where they made the mistake. I think they made the mistake of basically, I mean, they protected this guy for 2 years, and then they had him job out like a joke. And it was a cool moment. I agree. Even I, when I went back and watched it again today, just to, because it's an easy watch. It only takes a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool moment. I mean, at least it felt different, so I'll give them that. But my problem is this Goldberg was the total wrong choice for this situation. They could have done the same cool idea of Goldberg, because I kind of like the idea of Goldberg coming in and just wrecking somebody important. Lesnar was the only guy I would say that is the only person you would not do that for Goldberg. They could have gotten a similar reaction having him do that to Cena, to Reigns. I think Reigns would have been an amazing choice, because Reigns, no matter what, people hate him. Like, there's no making people like Roman Reigns. Can you imagine if he did that to Reigns instead?
But the company is in rehab mode with Reigns, so they'd never do that at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, but
that could be the way to do it.
But I personally just do not see the long term, and this is where we disagree completely. Is, again, I get you just don't care about the long term anymore. But I look at it that this company, WWE, has no long term booking ability anymore. They do this cool thing with Kevin Owens where Triple H comes in, helps him win the title. Triple H is still, months later, has not popped up on TV to explain. All they had to do was had Triple H come out on Raw, or maybe even cut like a satellite promo, from far away in WWE headquarters, and just say, Kevin Owens is my guy. I'm not going to be on TV for a really long time because I don't have to be, and sit in that, Seth Rollins, and soak it up because you won't get your revenge against me.
He wasn't even on camera at NXT.
Anything would be better than nothing. And this thing with Lesnar, that should have went to Samoa Joe. I can't see, because this with Goldberg, if he is not in the WrestleMania main event now, then this is for all for nothing. He better win the Rumble, and he better go on and face whoever's the champion in the Mania main event. Otherwise, I don't see why they did this.
Well, Raw is happening right now. You haven't seen anything.
No, I know he's in it. I already know he's announced.
Okay.
Where as of filming this or recording this, Raw is happening, and I know just all I've heard is that he entered himself into the Rumble match. Yeah.
But Matt, you don't understand. I mean, it's WrestleMania. You can have many main events.
Yeah, don't give me that shit, Lee. No, he needs to win the Rumble now. That's Bottom line, he needs to win the Rumble, and they need to capitalize because it is surprising how over he
going to
is.
cost each other. And
Yeah.
that's going to be the main match.
They've done that so many times now where they'll have two feuding guys enter the Rumble and they'll take each other out. So I mean, I can see that happening
that's
as
the
well.
first match.
But see, and here's where I think they went wrong on because there's so many people saying, "Oh, we're going to see a rematch now between Lesnar and Goldberg." Why would I ever want to see a rematch when the guy was decisively destroyed so badly that there was a clear winner?
I think you're maybe missing the storyline here, where Lesnar did not take Goldberg seriously at all. Like I think the storyline is essentially the underlying storyline is that Lesnar came into this smug monster motherfucker who was like, "Fuck this old man." I mean, yeah, he beat me once back in the day, but that was then. I was a little less experienced back then, and Goldberg was a lot younger back then. Now he's an old man, and I've been running through everybody. I'm going to run through this motherfucker, and Goldberg proved him wrong. And I think the rematch is going to be built around Lesnar taking Goldberg seriously, taking him as an actual threat.
Now, that's on paper, I see that, but it's very hard when someone's 2-0 to build that O up as a credible, viable, buyable thing. That's why many times if there's an MMA fight in UFC and one guy wins both matches, there's not going to be a third.
Well, I think
very rare, and that's in a legit sport where it's sold on can he beat him. We've had a shit match and a minute match. They're going to do it, and they're going to buy into it because they want to see Goldberg do it.
Well, I think that's the benefit of pro wrestling, where you can build up a person for years, and a loss won't hurt them. And again, I'll go back to the argument that the loss here does not hurt Lesnar, and people will be dying to see the rematch eventually.
Oh God, I'm not. I'm done. I just had my fill.
Matt, they blew their load.
Yeah,
that's
what
what you're saying.
But honestly, their audience at this point are just the diehards, and I think the diehards will go back to wanting to see this. I mean, they've pretty much run off the fucking casual fan at this point. So.
I mean, I've seen the overall reaction here seems to be more positive than negative, but it's one of those things where it's really decisive. So the 70% that liked it, loved it. But then there's the other 30% absolutely fucking shit on it and hated it. There's nobody who's just like, oh, okay. It's really, really decisive. And, hey, thankfully, most people seem to have liked it, which is, I guess, a positive. To me, it just shits all over Taker's streak. It shits all over, Cena getting crushed, Orton literally being murdered in the middle of the ring. And I get what you're saying, that he didn't take him seriously and stuff, but, I mean, he beat him so decisively. It was a slaughter. And
He beat him like he beat guys like Glacier or Hugh Morris. Yeah. At least when he fought like DDP or Hogan, there was some back and forth. Like if he kicked out of the jackhammer, it went back and forth, and we got an F5 and then something else, and he kicked out of that, and then he speared him and jackhammered him. All right, 4 minutes.
Lesnar's going to complain, and Lesnar's going to say because he didn't take him seriously, he got caught off guard, and that's why he wants the rematch.
DDP took him seriously in that match and lost.
That's what it would have been. It shouldn't have been a 3-move match.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I have no desire to see them ever fight ever again. But at least Goldberg got elevated a little bit.
I'll take this over a 15-minute match. I mean, I'm assuming that Goldberg's going to have some sort of program going throughout the year before WrestleMania with somebody else, and it's just going to be, going back and forth between this feud with Lesnar, building that up as well. So I think they're trying to... They'll probably get to the sort of ring rust and shit. And
I just really hope that they do this before Mania. I don't want this to be a WrestleMania match. I don't see how it's not going to be a good match. Bottom line, unless it's just a slugfest, everybody is pretty much in agreement that they can't have a good match together because it's the styles and the age. But we've seen it now twice. I hate it when they do that for Mania. To me, Mania is more exciting when you get fresh matchups or fresh situations, and I just don't have them happen sometime in between. Just
have it. They fight during the Rumble.
No, but they're going to
spins off of that.
No,
that would be the way to do it.
They're going to do Mania though because this is their sort of attempt to bring back that casual audience that they've been running away for so many years now. Like, they're trying to bring back the people who know Goldberg. I mean, I think that's what is in the back of their heads.
Well, I think they split the audience, though, with this, because if I was a fan of Goldberg's back in the day and I liked watching him just run through people, I would be like, okay, so Goldberg's having a match. That's awesome. I'm going to watch it. I see that. I think half the fans are going to watch that and go, well, I got my fill. That was a great nostalgia run. See you later. Never watching this crap ever again. And then the other half would be like, oh, that's exactly like how I enjoyed WCW, and I'll keep watching. The problem is the moment Goldberg has an actual match, they're going to go, oh, my God, no, I'm done.
See, and that's it. The Goldberg squashes, where he comes out for a minute and does whatever.
That's his best stuff.
That was fine for 100 and something matches.
And how many employees WCW had? How many wrestlers? They had like 100.
When it started getting against the names, though, there was a bit more to it, where he would take a bit of a beating and go back and forth. It didn't matter. He's Goldberg.
Well, DDP's matches
to him
with
to
Goldberg
squash a dude is fine, but not when it's like a Hogan or a Page or even a Savage or Sid.
The worst choice.
So over here, he didn't do that to Rock. He didn't do that to Batista or Mark Henry or even Jericho or Nash or Triple H. So why does he do it to Lesnar? It just didn't quite add up. They went too old school with Goldberg to what you know and remember, instead of what it really should have been, of just this guy who will beat the shit out of you and not really take a beating back, but you're delaying the inevitable is what it is with him.
At least I'll say, like, they instantly have another main event guy, but the problem is it's Goldberg and he's never been good, so it's not really a main event guy.
my kind of mid-range thing on it is, I like Goldberg. Always have. We talked about that last time, and it's cool. And seeing him do that was like, that's awesome. However, I would have been better if it was anybody but Lesnar. Well, we agree on that.
Yeah, I think it would have been actually. Again, I know they don't want to do it, but if they had done that against Reigns, that would have been unbelievable, because it would have actually legitimately been shocking, and I would have felt like it was a good moment instead of it being shocking and going, oh, God damn it, they just crushed Lesnar.
Just imagine him doing it to Lesnar, or doing it to Reigns, and then doing it to somebody else, and just kind of doing it to all these guys, and then Lesnar's like, oh yeah, well, what about me? That's how you could actually build that match.
Yeah, but maybe also they're kind of thinking, how many matches does Goldberg have in the tank?
Which I'm sure it's not many. I'm sure it's not many.
And I mean, you've got this whole series of main event guys right now that are fragile main event guys. The only guy who isn't, the only guy, again, who can really take a loss and not be hurt by it is Brock Lesnar. I mean, if he did this to Kevin Owens, or he did it to Ambrose, or he did it to AJ Styles,
Reigns could have eaten it, though. I would argue Reigns could eat it and it wouldn't have hurt him.
No, I totally disagree with that.
No, Reigns would be fine.
Yeah, because they're pushing him. They push him down your throat regardless of what he does. So I mean, he took a clean loss to Rollins, and it didn't affect him almost at all. Really, he's already gone back to his basically number one babyface on Raw status.
Yeah, but you know they're kind of disregarding the fan reaction of Reigns. They're more.
That's why I don't think it matters.
Well, they're Cena-ing it. That's why I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if he had done that to Cena too? Like, even that could have been amazing.
Cena, I would have agreed with. That would have been an excellent. That would have been an excellent thing.
Yeah,
but,
I think the problem is, I think people are going to look at this the way that I looked at him, Lesnar and Cena at SummerSlam, because I remember when that happened, we did the thing, and I was like, I hated it. I absolutely hated that match, and I hated it because in that situation, I wanted a match. But everybody loved it. Everybody was so, oh man, that was so awesome to see Lesnar just kill him. And then a year later, so it was like, some people were like, oh, that was awesome. A lot of people were like, I don't know about that. Now we come to a while, and people are like, because people have turned on Lesnar. People have seen through this. And I think that's what's going to happen here, too. I think that's what's going to happen here. Though. I think it's going to be the same thing.
Is Lesnar has been doing this. He's been coming in kind of every quarter, beating up some dude, and that's it, and that's fine. And then Goldberg comes along every decade and does it to Lesnar. It's like exponential.
If they continue this for the next a decade every time, that'd be awesome.
No, my joke is that Hogan will beat Goldberg in 30 years, and then Andre will beat Hogan in like the year 3000. It's just, and then the circle will be complete.
Tell me, bring back Brock and Goldberg every 10 years just to have Goldberg continue to beat him in under a minute, and I'm sold. Yeah. Then I'm down for it.
Yeah, that's a long-term program. the thing with their programs, like you said, they don't think long term. They're all about the moment, which is such shock and stuff like TNA would do, or WCW. Except they do it better. It's still that stuff though, where it's a moment, and what they do is they then drag that moment beyond what it was. Because look, you like this moment. Here's some more of the moment. It's like no. You should have built all this stuff up to the big moment. Make it a 3-month thing to the moment, not the moment and then 3 more months.
Yeah,
that's the writing team going. Hey, this worked. Do it again.
And come on, gentlemen, those video game sales are going to be through the roof.
Now, the thing with Joe, I was thinking Joe would have been great for this, especially if he was the NXT champion when he did it, because he just won that title back. Can you imagine the NXT champion coming up and beating Lesnar? It's like, yeah, I'm on this brand. You guys can't handle it.
That would be cool.
Would have elevated that one so quickly, so huge.
Yeah, but it seems like they have this weird hesitance to do anything with Joe. Like they just don't want to pull the trigger on him. And I mean, he ain't getting any fucking younger.
Yeah, he's already kind of old.
That goes back. I think we tweeted a bit back and forth on this, Matt, where I actually am impressed that Joe won. Because it's always been champion loses to challenger NXT Takeover show.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because we are going to review the show. But I like
what it is. But
overall thoughts.
I like that this happened.
Yeah, overall thoughts.
It's the wrong way, and yet all they really got out of this is, well, what now? And that's good. That's got people that are going to watch. But I'm worried it's got more people wondering what's going to happen than tuning in to wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to rebuild their audience anytime soon. That's a big problem with the product right now.
And that's
they need to get the
booking.
The writers, Matt, you nailed it.
Their booking is awful. I mean, their booking. They. What's interesting about this era is because we've gone through the eras where, back in the 90s or early 2000s, they had a lot of long-term booking before, I'd say the super crazy, Triple H Rock era, where then it just went from no more long-term booking, immediate everything. That's where we started getting, rematches galore. And now we're in this, weird, mixed phase where they, plant the seeds for stuff, but then they wait, 5 to 6 months before, and then nobody cares anymore. They'll pay it off, but it doesn't matter anymore.
or they can't pay it off because everyone's fucking injured because everyone's doing suicide dives on Raw.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so the Triple H thing, it's going to be another... they'll probably pay that off around Rumble time, and then I'm sure we're going to get Triple H and Rollins at Mania. I'm sure that's where that's going. But, I don't care. They took too long to get to a lot of these things. You know what? One thing I'm hoping, though, and we'll get to it because of the Survivor Series, is I'm hoping we get Owens and AJ Styles at Mania, because that was going to be a potential Mania match last year, and it got scrapped. And they looked like they had really good chemistry, and they gave them some time together. But let's go into the NXT special then first. I don't think we have to review everything one match at a time. Just say everything that we liked. We can start off with you, Lee. What did you like about the special?
The love of my life, Asuka. Killing the fuck out of Mickie James. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. She looked pretty good, by the way.
Good. Yeah, she looked great. They both look great. More of that, please. Anytime, any day. Yeah. The fucking tag match with the fucking Revival.
Oh, yeah, match of the night. Hands down. God, that was so fucking good.
Match of the weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was better than anything on Survivor Series. Hands down. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fucking good. Like you said, Arn Anderson with hair and without hair.
So is.
Well, I remembered my joke now. Tom and I were watching a match from them a couple months ago, and Tom, I made that joke, and Tom was like, "Oh, well, one of them's Arn and one of them's Anderson." So that's what I should have said.
Yeah, but that was fucking great. That's one of the best tag matches I've seen in the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, probably the best 2 out of 3 falls I've ever seen.
A friend of mine was there live. He said the best tag match he's ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just fucking amazing. Just tore the fucking house down. The main event was great. Great to see the surprise of Joe actually getting the title back. And the rest of it was just your usual fucking super solid, excellent NXT show, hands down. So,
what about you, Scott?
I mean, can't forget about Bobby Roode's choir.
I hated that match.
I know. I like the violins better for Shinsuke, even though they were clearly not actually playing them. But it's so bad. But it was neat. It was cool. You commented on that too. I think those moments just elevate the show so much more.
Yeah, Of course.
And yet, over on Raw, on
They can't do
Survivor
it.
Series or SmackDown,
Can't be asked.
not only are they not doing funny little neat stuff, they're just wearing the Raw and SmackDown T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like, make this feel like a big deal.
Oh my
like
God,
Goldberg
Owens
and
looks so fat wearing that 2 layers of shirts.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
How many fruits is he gonna wear?
The you know what was one spot that I was like, what is his name? Shane Thorne doing that dive off of the little thing that was holding up the cage was awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool. That guy's gonna die though.
Oh yeah,
He doesn't know how to dive or do anything properly. I was cringing at a few of his little dives he was doing.
What I did like overall, like I was about to say before, where Joe won, because it's always been the
Yes.
champion defends
Yeah, I
against
was happy
somebody,
to.
loses to that somebody at TakeOver.
Yep, they did it with Balor
The
and they
next
did it with
TakeOver,
Owens.
rematch.
Mhm.
And it happened with Sammy and
Yeah.
Owens, happened with Owens and Balor, happened with Balor and Joe, kind of, because they did a live event for that. But Joe, by rights, from what they've done for the past 2-3 years, Joe should have lost. He didn't. It's like, oh, okay, that broke the cycle, and now he's a 2-time NXT champion. Well, now what?
Well, I think the next NXT Takeover special, which will probably be around Rumble time, I think they're going to do Joe and Nakamura 3. I think that's what they're going for. This is now this is how you do long-term booking, though, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Because there's a slow build to each situation, each match, and now I actually have genuine interest to see. I don't know who's going to win that match. I don't know if it's going to be Joe or Nakamura, because either guy is ready to be called up at any time, and I would assume they're probably going to hold off both of these guys until after WrestleMania to be like a big shock for everybody.
Oh, the Raw after.
Yeah, the Raw after. And so, like, when they fight at the Rumble, though, for the TakeOver, I legitimately don't know who they're going to put the title on or keep the title with, and that's good.
We're in that weird era where you never know what could happen. We could see Joe and Nakamura at the TakeOver before the Rumble. Whoever wins, wins. And then either of them ends up in the Rumble. And people lose their goddamn mind.
Yeah, of course.
Probably not, but they do NXT guys
Just
in that.
Another
so
example of how NXT does it right, and WWE is just continually doing all the little things wrong.
It was fun. It seemed a bit low-key compared to the Brooklyn one, but the Brooklyn ones are like their mania. So
I think I know why, though. I think the opening match was really bad, and that was a really poor choice to put in there. I don't like Ty Dillinger at all. I feel bad. Not really, though, because they were marking out for him, and they do the 10 thing, but the moment he starts doing offense, they don't care. They get really quiet. And you know what his problem is that he has no babyface fire. Like he still wrestles like a heel even when he's trying to do a babyface comeback.
Yeah, he's just he's got that sort of zealot fan base from NXT behind him, so they're gonna pop for the shit he does, but throughout the entire match they're just gonna be fucking dead silent. I mean,
the moment he debuts, he's dead though. Like if they put him on the roster, he's dead in the water.
People with better gimmicks have died.
Rude will do well. Rude will actually get over on the main roster, but Ty Dillinger's dead in the water. That's it.
Dillinger, I think, is in NXT for life. I mean, I wouldn't bring him
He
up.
really seems... his whole thing after he lost to Rude was, I just never quite can win the match that matters. I'm like, that's what Tyler Breeze used to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're the
now
new
he's
Tyler
dressing
Breeze.
like a cop.
You don't want to be the new Tyler Breeze.
Yeah,
Tyler Breeze doesn't want to be the old Tyler Breeze.
The tag match obviously was the best thing on the show, best thing of the weekend, and then the Joe and Nakamura was really damn good too. I liked it a lot. It was just it was fun overall. It was just a fun show, and again, I feel like, you know why NXT, I think it's not just the booking, it's also the fact that it's so sparse compared to the regular product. I mean, the regular product, I think one reason why I'm really starting to hate it is because even though they have signed some of the best people on the planet that are some of my favorite wrestlers, I see them way too much.
Dude,
all the time.
The next pay-per-view is TLC in 2 weeks.
2 fucking
weeks. And then
weeks.
Roadblock for Raw is the week after.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
And then it's the Rumble. And
how many useless matches can you throw into that and build for it in 2 weeks? Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
well, to be fair, they did announce AJ and Ambrose a few weeks ago is a TLC match at TLC. So they actually did throw that one out in advance.
It doesn't matter. It's too much.
I'm like, okay,
it's too much shit.
That's quote-unquote long-term booking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad when angles are started and then finished in like a month. Like, Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad in the Attitude Era, but it's worse now.
And it's interesting, too, because they have a brand split to try and stop this stuff, and yet they're still rushing through things like crazy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be... The whole point of this brand split was so you would slow it down a little bit, and yet it's still just like,
Instead of last time, like how there was Raw had the May show, and then SmackDown had the June show. Now it's everyone gets two.
Yeah,
everyone gets one a month.
It should have been every other month for
yeah.
both
No, we
shows,
had 2 in September, 2 in October. Now we got 2 in December.
Oh,
it's like
God.
no. Hold on.
They don't understand that they're going to burn the shit out of their audience. And they already are. They're already burning through them right
they
now.
already are. The
Yeah.
4 hours don't help.
It just goes back to no long-term planning. I mean, you got all this great talent, you have all this potential for great feuds, great matches that you can build up over time, but no, we're going to throw them all out there every fucking week, and we're going to throw them on fucking Raw, not even pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I mean...
And Survivor Series was largely made up of matches that did not matter.
Mm-hmm.
The top tier matches were bragging rights. Like, no, it's
Raw
for
versus
what?
SmackDown
It's been
is...
2 weeks. It's been 2 months.
Yeah, Raw versus SmackDown is exactly the same as it was before with the initial brand split. It doesn't matter. It's a bunch of people putting on fucking their colored shirt, and you don't buy that they actually give a fuck about the brand that they're representing, because why would they? What does it matter?
Yeah. Well, let's get into Survivor Series then. Hey, at least NXT was awesome. I mean, I really did like it. But they opened up the Survivor Series pay-per-view, I believe, with the women's match.
Don't forget, they had 2 pre-show matches.
I don't even know what they were.
There was a 6-man cruiserweight tag.
Okay. Who won
the
that?
Same one they've been doing forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Okay.
And Kane beat Luke Harper.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Well, he's the future.
Apparently, it's one of Kane's better matches in a while because Harper's that good.
Did you guys know that Kane makes like $1.2 million a year?
Jesus Christ! Really?
Yeah. They had Forbes. Forbes came out and it was Forbes and another thing. And this in video I watched was talking about how they basically kind of picked everything together, and it's a rough estimate of what they make. But Kane and Big Show both make over $1 million a year.
Big Show, I knew he had a big ass contract. I knew that.
Holy fuck, Kane!
Kane's a 20-year veteran now, right? It was
what a smart motherfucker.
Well, fucking
Hell in a Cell was 97, but he'd been there a couple of years prior with like Isaac Yankem and shit.
Well, like
Isaac Yankem, yeah, he came up from Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, I mean they take care of the veteran guys, but like Sasha apparently makes somewhere in the ballpark of about like $150,000 a year, and it's because she's been there for 4 years. And then Charlotte, the guesstimate was about over $200,000, and then they were like, but Rosa Mendez makes like $2 million.
Holy fuck!
And
really?
she's been with them for 10 years, and that's how it works sometimes. And she also sleeps with all of them.
Yeah, well, there
She's
you go.
still there.
She's still employed. Yeah, she had a baby. That's why she's been off TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, was she banging Michael Hayes at one point?
Yes, and also Big Johnny.
Yeah,
Big Johnny
so there you
well.
go. That makes sense right there.
And then I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through other numbers real quick, just because now it's interesting, and then we'll go back to the matches. The other interesting stats was Strowman is making well over $1 million, so they signed him to something. So I guess maybe because he was like a big deal.
He is an investment, and he started.
He fucking sold me even more on him in this one, and we'll get to that too. The other interesting ones was Roman makes about $2.5 million a year. Seth makes about 2.3. All those sound normal. Ambrose only makes over $1 million.
Doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Well, I guess the logic behind it is that Roman and Seth have been main eventing a lot, and Dean hasn't main evented as much, and that's why he hasn't made as much.
He's actually not been main eventing that less.
Well, because Ambrose
he's been the challenger
Seth
for Seth for a fair bit,
did
right? Triple threats and...
Seth did 13 pay-per-view main events in a row.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's what they were arguing. But like, he should be paid way more.
Dean's always been in that Roddy Piper role, though.
Yeah, it's true. And then Undertaker still clears about $5 million, even though he does one match a year.
Oh yeah,
he'll be doing more now, though.
I hope so. And who do you think is the top wrestler? It's kind of obvious, but top paid.
Lesnar.
No, it is still John Cena. John Cena clears $10 million a year.
Wow,
$10 million. I mean, Lesnar may make more, but they didn't say how much he makes. $10 million.
And AJ makes $10.
I'm sure AJ probably makes over $1 million at this point because he's main eventing. But this is what surprised me the most. The person who makes the most money out of anybody in the entire company, who do you think it is? Everybody, executives, everybody.
Not even Cena?
No, way more,
I
way more
would've
than Cena.
thought Cena. Okay.
Howard
So like
Finn.
Triple H or Stephanie?
It is not Triple H or Stephanie. It is also not Vince McMahon.
Is it corporate or is it a wrestler?
It is corporate, but it's also one of their people in charge of the show.
So a backstage person. Kevin Dunn?
Kevin Dunn makes the
Oh
most
my
money.
fuck! You got to be kidding me! That
He
rat
makes
face
somewhere in the
fucker.
ballpark of it was like 35 million to 40 million.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God.
he's like the director.
Yeah, he
So
owns a shitload of
He's
stock
the
too.
reason why the show looks like what it does. He's
why it's looked that way since the fucking 90s.
It never changed
Yeah,
ever.
but in the '90s that was big and important,
Yeah.
and he's just banked.
Never
so.
changed. So again, those aren't exacts, but those came off of estimates because of Forbes magazine and some other different things. So I found that to be particularly interesting. Okay, so the women's match. I thought this was one of the weaker of the tag matches. It wasn't bad, but it kind of just felt like it just kind of went on, and I didn't feel any investment in it.
Part of it is it was roster versus roster, and they've only really focused on the top parts of the roster. So you got Alicia Fox coming along just for shits and giggles. It's like,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you got to tame a 6 and you're only going to put 5 on the card.
The best part I thought was the
it
ending.
It just felt like they were filling spots, right? I mean,
I agree. Just to get them on the show, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked how Nia Jax.
The Nia Jax stuff was good.
everything,
Yes.
But
Nia
then
Jax was
Becky
good.
got the tap out. I'm like, that's cool. How Becky was the one to overcome. I'm a big fan of hers, and someone took her out, but they can't play off that right yet. Like that.
Yeah.
That is long-term build, which they are going to luck into later.
Yep, when they do
That was
like some
not
changes
done
and stuff.
purposefully for that reason.
Yeah.
That's just something they'll have.
I really liked Charlotte attacking Bailey pretty much immediately, because that was one thing I had a problem with, was a lot of people getting along that clearly should not have been getting along. That was
yeah.
nice. The only thing I don't like about it is I still don't like the title being on Charlotte, because her time has been up for a while, and for some reason
Bailey's
they're building
time
her
is
again.
now.
Yeah, it should be Sasha's time. I mean, Sasha
It
should
really
be
should
having a run
Sasha,
with
but
with
it's
the
going to
belt.
be better if Bailey takes it from Charlotte.
I guess
That's the problem when you have a couple happy, good faces and one bad girl. You want to have the face get the big win, but it doesn't really work when you take it from another face.
Well, they're just doing the
I mean,
Ric
it
Flair
does.
thing with her too, though. They're
if
doing
you
the
do
Ric
it the
Flair.
right way, like
Because
NXT would.
Flair would always lose the belt, but he'd always find a way to get it back, and that's clearly what they're doing
Yeah.
with Charlotte.
Well, they even added she's Charlotte Flair officially on all
Yeah.
the website and stuff, and her boots
Yeah.
even say CF like Rick's RF. So it's
Yeah.
they're
Although-
flaring it up.
Although most of Flair's losses back in the territory days, where he'd move around and around from territory to territory defending the NWA title, he would lose by like DQ or shit like that. Like he would get beaten like badly and then like fucking get a DQ or run off or get a count out or some shit like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the next one was Miz and Sami Zayn.
Miz and Zayn. Yep.
So really disappointed that we did not get
wanted-
Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler, and honestly, pretty disappointed that Miz has the belt back on him, because that means once again they flip-flopped, and there was no fucking reason for Dolph to ever win the title
Yeah,
from Miz to begin
there
with.
was-
Yeah, it also means no elevation for Miz towards more main
Yeah,
event.
just all bad, pretty much. It's like all bad.
I mean, yay Maurice, yeah, but that's about it.
Well,
But really, it's like
she could definitely dress sexier. She looks like a magician's assistant.
She
for
does. I thought the same thing. Yes.
Yeah, of late, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like the white ones better, but
But I mean, they probably shouldn't have brought Miz back in this because flip flop bullshit. B, I don't really care to see Miz elevated to main event again. I think he's perfectly suited for what he's doing right now. But at the same time, I wanted Zayn and Ziggler because that would have been a way better match.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing
his
Miz
character was there. I thought.
yeah, I mean, seeing Miz do Daniel Bryan's spots mockingly is fun, but at the same time, there's never going to be a payoff in the ring. So
No,
like,
never.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What I would
just-
have liked to see is Ziggler actually get his rematch and make it a triple threat, but then
Mhm.
Raw be like, no, that's not fair. We got to make it a fatal 4-way and put someone else in there too. I mean, that would have
That'd
been
be fun.
just pure. I don't even know who it could have been, but
I mean,
why not?
it felt like a lose situation for everybody, because Sammy deserves
Yeah.
better. They've been obviously
He
treating
deserves
him.
the title.
They've been treating him pretty poorly, and I think they have money in Sammy, and my guess is Vince probably just got tired of him, which always fucking happens. Vince just he'll push somebody, and then all of a sudden he's like, whatever.
Look at this
He
little
beat
redhead.
Owens.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks
Sammy,
like Christian.
Sammy deserves better, and the problem is Miz has now lost that can lose to anybody at any time thing. They're gonna have to build that back up again because he already lost to Ziggler. So it's like I don't believe that he's gonna lose right away. Like I knew Sammy had no prayer in hell of winning the title off of him here. None.
No, if it was Ziggler, maybe. Like maybe.
I think there might have been a chance with Ziggler, maybe. But with Miz, he just won it. He's not losing it. And again, like Miz was so good before he lost to Ziggler. He was so good at being a bad guy IC champion that match with Ziggler was amazing. So that was a great payoff.
The modern version of Ric Flair, like we just talked about.
Oh, he was excellent.
The modern version of that.
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely excellent.
And his character got good losing the belt in what it was, but getting it back got rid of that.
There was no point.
He never should have.
Yeah.
Well, no, he never should have lost in the first place because the character was perfect with the title. But then if they lose it and he's all upset about it, that's good too. We can run with this.
But I think
he won it back.
I think what you're seeing here.
So they reset him. Yeah.
What you're seeing here is that they didn't. I think what happened is they didn't know what they had with Miz having the IC title. They didn't realize that he was. I'm sure they knew he was good, but they didn't know that this is probably the peak of his entire career is when he had that IC title last time.
Yeah.
And it was so good and so convincing that when he did lose to Ziggler, this amazing match happened. The crowd popped huge, and I could see WWE's mindset. They went, "Oh God, they really hated Miz. Like that's so good." And so what happened was they're like, "Okay, we'll wait a month and we'll just reset it and we'll recapture that magic again." Nope. It's going to take a while.
That's like I was saying, where they get the moment, they see what that moment is, and they try to make more of that moment.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't just make it again like that.
I think that he can be built up again, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while, unfortunately. Yeah. And the match...
real heel again, pal.
The match was just okay. I didn't think it was terrible, but Miz is clearly not the type of person to be working with an indie strong worker like Sammy. No. So it was just okay.
Plus, Sammy comes off like a goof and gets to have no comeuppance.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. He can never like get back at Miz. Yep.
You can go for the other singles title. Oh wait, that's Roman Reigns. That's not happening.
That's not happening anytime soon.
So it's
that's Sami Zayn. He's ugly. Let's put a blue dot on his face.
What was the next match?
Tag Survivor match.
Oh, okay. So the tag was interesting because we might be a little split on this. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
This is the first 10-team or whatever like this match since the 80s. Yeah. They did 2 of these in 87 and 88 at the first 2 Survivor Series, and then never did a 5-team on 5-team again since.
Well, what did you guys feel about it? Because I actually was really positive.
It's fun.
I thought it was great.
It was good.
I'm a little iffy on how they got rid of some of the teams, but it turned out the teams they had at the end, fuck yeah, that was pretty great.
Mm-hmm. I love New Day getting out quick. So, I thought New Day getting eliminated quick was good because it was shocking. I think what happened, I think that was designed well because it was designed to wake the crowd up in case they were dead. Because the crowd was kind of they were into the teams, but they weren't, and then all of a sudden New Day get pinned, and that crowd immediately woke up. And that was pretty brilliant.
It immediately brought the Usos back as a threat because they've been going after the SmackDown tag titles, not quite pulling it off, but also they've been feuding with New Day before all this. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, we had your number, see, jerks. Yeah. And suddenly now it's a threat. And I liked how it was Gallows who came in. It's like, all right, you want to try that with me? Like, oh, this is cool shit. This is interesting. This is the interplay I love of Survivor Series. So
it got some of the teams that have been abused in the last year to actually shine a little bit. So
even Breezango.
Yeah,
that sucked.
I was okay with it. I was okay with it.
I mean, they're jokes.
I liked it.
Yeah, they're jokes.
And I like the fact that it continued to push Cesaro and fucking Sheamus as this bizarro tag team, you know.
During the match, I was like, why are the teams that are in still in? This seems backwards. At the end of it, I'm like, oh, okay. No, it all worked out. Well, it was weird. Like, in the moment, it didn't quite click.
You're going to get Cesaro and Sheamus versus New Day. I mean, they were already going to do that anyway, so now they're even stronger going into that match.
That happened on Raw.
Yeah, but I mean they're gonna get a tag title match at the next what's the pay-per-view? Is it
the Roadblock?
Roadblock. They're gonna get a tag title match. I'm sure.
I can even say, I mean, from the Raw that happened. Do you care about spoilers, Matt?
Oh, did they win?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
They did not win.
Oh, of course not.
But it's because Xavier Woods interfered from the outside.
God damn it! I hate New Day.
So that's they're 23 days shy.
I hate that. I hate that you keep titles on people just so they can break a record because it fucking buries everybody else on the roster until they break the record.
If they get that title shot, that'll be after the 23 days.
They're still gonna get the title shot.
Or close to it. It'll be just.
Yeah,
so.
They're still gonna get the title shot. That would be hilarious though if they had New Day lose like a day before. That would be fucking hilarious.
Demolition runs in and costs them the match.
Yeah,
awesome.
Pretty strong overall match, though. I thought this was, personally, I thought this was my favorite of the Survivor Series elimination matches.
It built the divisions.
Yeah, it made everybody look good.
Them look like credible threats at the expense of the other, so they look strong against each other.
Yeah,
it was way more than I expected from this match because it felt like the WrestleMania throw everyone who's not on the card into a match to give them a payday. And it ended up actually being a really good match. So, I mean, it's win-win. So,
all right, and then the next one was Kendrick versus Rey Mysterio #2, who botches way more than Rey Mysterio used to do. What is going on with Kalisto? Because Kalisto came in pretty strong for the first year, and I swear he is botching like crazy the last 6 months or so.
They expect too much from him.
I think so too. I think because he's trying to do too much. That it's throwing him off. I think he needs to maybe cut his offense down by about half, make it a little more ground base. Not all of it, obviously, but cut out at least half of those spots because he botches at least 2 things every match. And I remember him from PWG, seeing him live. He wasn't like that. He didn't fuck up things, but he also wasn't trying to do as much. He wasn't moving around like that.
No, he wasn't trying to do a springboard every 3 seconds.
Yes.
I mean, he wasn't fucking that shit up. And I mean, just the climate of the WWE at this point, where everyone's doing fucking high spots in every fucking match.
I'm numb to it.
He has to do more because he's a fucking cruiserweight.
Yeah, I'm numb to it.
But he's not the champ.
No, and they need to tone it down. I mean, I hate to sound like fucking JR on his podcast, but you guys got to slow it down.
They do. They do. And
that even sounds like Vince back talking about the old ECW show. It's like, how far did we go with the car crashes before you're numb to car crashes?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole division was just handled terribly being brought in. Like you look at the cruiserweight division on the tournament, and they did an excellent job of building up guys who people had no idea who they were. Excellent job. But then they just put them on Raw with no video packages, no promos for them. The first Raw, they didn't even bother having the champion come out. You can tell Vince had no desire to push this, and it shows because I think Kendrick is a very capable wrestler. Obviously, I think he's damn good, but Kendrick is the wrong guy to be the face. He's the safe choice.
WWE eyes.
Yeah, but the problem with the safe choice is Kendrick just looks like a regular WWE wrestler fighting a bunch of guys who are flinging around botching spots.
Yeah, no, it's gone back to their initial light heavyweight division back in the day, where it was Taka Michinoku and then a bunch of other guys. And that was it.
That was
Mr. Aguilar and Pantera. And
the only other guy with a name was Brian Christopher, and he didn't fucking wrestle a light heavyweight style in the first place. It was just ridiculous.
We gotta get Rich Swann on that. He's actually his stock is rising.
I think Swann is perfect.
He's the one.
Swann should be the fucking man.
Yeah,
he's the one to do it. Because he's beaten Kendrick a few times.
I think he's next too. By the way, I don't think they're going to keep the belt on Kendrick for very long. I think that what happened was this. I think that Perkins is a lot of fun, but I think the moment that he showed up and showed that he has like zero personality, that was the death of Perkins. Great wrestler.
Swann has personality, and he has in-ring personality too. Like,
and
his
that's what
fucking moves are so innovative and just awesome to watch. Like, even if he couldn't talk, just watching his fucking matches alone gets him over. Like,
he's got that physical aspect to his character.
It's like AJ was when you first saw him in TNA. You're like, who the fuck is that guy? I don't care. He's awesome. He's similar to that, I find.
Yeah, just insane transitions between moves.
Knowing that after Miz retained the IC title, I knew that Kendrick wouldn't lose the Cruiserweight title. Even though it makes all the sense in the world with 205 Live happening live after SmackDown.
Oh, they're still leaving.
The
Cruiserweights are still leaving Raw no matter what. They'll find some other excuse, but they're definitely not going to be on Raw anymore.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
hell, even Brian might be able to say there was interference. I should be able to have a rematch. Some other bullshit will happen. There's a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
in
Well,
2 weeks
let's
for
get to
crying
that
out
then.
loud,
The finish was stupid because I felt like
Yeah.
the guys were working
Oh.
really hard, and then they protected Kalisto for some reason. Like he needs
Corbin
protection.
came in to attack so that Kalisto wouldn't get the win,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
and then beat up Kalisto. I'm like,
But
that's a little bit of thinking, but that undercut the whole idea
Yeah,
of a division.
It was just
I
why
remember
just
all these jokes about this cruiserweight division, but then getting beat up by Big Show and Strowman.
and that's what already happened.
And Corbin. It's happened already.
Yeah.
So, fuck off. Like, no.
Yeah, they should have just given the
actually
win to
said the match
Kendrick.
is called off from outside interference and have it again. It shouldn't have been. You shouldn't be able to DQ it like that because
But
of what it is.
Yeah, but you're right, Matt. There's definite foreshadowing to getting the entire division over to SmackDown because Daniel Bryan afterwards is like, this is not going to fucking stand. I'm going to fucking do something.
Yeah,
with
they'll
the
figure
shit,
something
so.
out.
And the 205 Live is next Tuesday, so they got a week.
Yeah.
All right. And what was next after that? Are we up to the
It's
Raw
men's
match?
elimination.
The Raw and SmackDown match. So this match, I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting, the interactions. The one problem I have, and I think they actually remedied it by the end, was I didn't like that Bray Wyatt was so keen on being a part of this team. Seeing him, weeks prior wearing the SmackDown shirt, all like rah rah rah, killed any mysticism that he was trying to build up a lot. But hey, he won, so you know what? Fuck
Yeah.
it. At least they fixed it. They fixed the problem.
His character finally learned.
Yes.
Well, no, I think that's the story. He played everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Again,
totally on board.
I said they fixed it. That's fine with me. That
I'm
was
on
good.
board for it. He played everyone toward building up to the match, and he played everyone during the match, and he survived.
So
I
here's
thought-
the point I made leading up to this. I'm like, all right, so which match is going to be main event? Is it the match with 10 of the top stars with both world champions, or the part-timer versus the retiree? Right, that's the main event. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I get that's the marquee match, but really, both world champions, Orton, Ambrose, Wyatt. God damn it, that's not your main event.
Yeah,
And the US champ.
We know why,
Okay.
though. We know why now. But the
Yeah.
bad spot,
Hindsight
I thought,
works, but-
I did not like Kevin Owens how he got eliminated. That was moronic. I mean, I think they should have built it up that he was getting out wrestled by AJ, or somebody was out wrestling him blatantly, and that's why he got himself DQ'd on purpose. Now that would make sense, but just for him to just fucking run in for no real reason and get DQ'd, that did not make sense to me at all. Best part of the entire match, I thought, was the frog splash counter into the RKO was beautiful. The timing on that, wow.
He say what you will about Randy Orton, but when he hits those fucking RKOs, people coming off the top rope,
Man.
wow.
And
no
just
one does that shit better.
Not just them two, it was Wyatt also having to move. That was 3 guys perfectly hitting that maneuver. That was pretty impressive. But
I
it was,
think
it was fun.
I was going to say I think the MPV of this fucking match was still Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Just the
healing
he was doing through the first half of the fucking match.
Did you guys notice his unbelievably bad chemistry with both Shane McMahon and Dean Ambrose, though?
Yeah, but
bad.
But he covered it up so well.
Well, there's especially with Dean. There was a part where I was watching him go through the motions, and I'm going like, wow, it looks like 2 guys that have never wrestled before that are calling it right in the ring, and it's just not working, and they're panicking. And I was like, oh man, it was not. It explained their entire feud prior to this because it just wasn't good. It wasn't good.
But
at
I
all.
mean, Jericho has.
But he's great.
I was down on Jericho initially with his return, but he's just fucking done a total fucking 180.
Yeah, his character. He basically, I think he knows that he can't wrestle on the same stage that he used to. So now he's put everything he has into his character, and that has paid off in droves.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the trash talking and shit he does in the ring, and he's still, and when it comes to pulling off the big spots, he can still pull off the big spots, and it just works perfectly. So I was just thoroughly entertained watching him through that, and the rest of the match itself was great too. I mean, it was just really good back and forth, just high level fucking guys going back and forth, and they did good drama in certain points of the match. The Shield reunion was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ, I like how AJ is one of the few wrestlers on the planet that can both make himself look like $1 million and make everybody else look like $1 million.
Well, we got little glimpses of AJ and Roman again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, great.
I remember those good times back in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Shane being concussed? Man, he was the one guy out of everybody in there that looked like he had no business being in that match.
He didn't. Yeah. Here's why. Undertaker should have taken his spot.
Yeah, isn't that weird? How Taker comes out. Taker comes out and goes, "All of you better not lose because." That's it.
Yeah. He really should have taken this spot. Can you imagine how epic that would have been?
Yeah, that would have been great. But I don't think he can physically, probably, because he's still recovering from his.
The alternate would have been Baron Corbin, because
Oh, fuck off! No.
Take his spot back. The storyline is as bad as when Van Dam got injured back in TNA with the baseball bat by Abyss. They vacated the title, had a tournament for a new champion, and at the pay-per-view for the new champion, Van Dam also had a match because he was better by that point. Well, then why'd you take the title off him? It's the same thing here. He's fine now.
I don't know. I mean, I think they put Shane in there because Shane is a draw. I mean, I still think
get his head knocked off.
If Shane is in a match, I feel like there are a certain percentage of fans that would go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'd like to see Shane wrestle," because it's
more so than Baron.
Yeah, and so that's why. But he was way out of his league, especially when he was in there with Rollins. That's when it was clear as day that Shane McMahon is not a good wrestler, and he should not be in there with good wrestlers, because it just did not work.
Yeah, Rollins looked a little frustrated.
So he did.
Do you still want that Shane versus Brock match, or are we good?
I never wanted it to begin with.
Nobody
wanted it.
Wants that?
Nobody wants. I'll take Goldberg and Lesnar a million times.
God.
After the Orton bloodletting, that's what the rumors were.
We had talked about it earlier, though, but Braun looked like $1 million in this match.
Yeah.
Damn, he looked good.
Best Wyatt ever. Holy fuck.
I feel like, because when they signed him, he was green as hell. Like, he was one of the guys that basically bypassed the NXT system and got pushed up because of the Wyatt gig. So he's green. I feel like he's not an amazing wrestler by any means, but I feel like he is definitely getting it when it comes to being a big guy wrestler. I think he's great.
Yeah. And he can be carried. I mean,
he literally, thanks to his beard, got where he is today.
It's true.
Because it's not his baby face.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with Khali, he could never be carried. Always looked impressive, he looked very, very ominous, but you couldn't carry him because he's awful. I feel like I agree with you, Leigh. I think he's not a great wrestler, but I think if he's in there with a capable wrestler, he can do just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a big player.
James Ellsworth.
That was a cool spot, though. I like that they're continually teasing this James Ellsworth and Braun Strowman thing, because you know he's going to eliminate him at the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
it's going to happen. And it's going to be a great moment. Although I don't like him that much. I don't like Mr. James too much. I think it's because they're giving him kind of like the 1-2-3 kid type push. Where it's like, they're bringing in he never should have made it. The difference is, X-Pac is an excellent worker, and this guy is not.
It's not even the 1-2-3 kid push. It's more like the Barry Horowitz push. But even then, Barry Horowitz was an amazing fucking worker compared to Ellsworth. But still, it's
a CZW guy. Isn't that nuts? CZW dude. But you know what? It was a fun match overall. I thank God that Wyatt won something. I'm actually really curious where the Orton and Wyatt thing is going.
I never thought I'd say that.
I actually hope that they keep them together for a while. I hope that they do a slow burn on this and don't just immediately have Orton turn. I think Orton, when he comes out with his jacket, kind of covering himself up in the way he holds himself, I think he works with them at least for a couple of months. I like it.
I mean, hey, it's something different for fucking Orton. Finally,
the babyface wasn't working.
But I mean, here they're missing out though, because Wyatt sort of taps into that idea of like a Southern religious cult kind of thing. They need to start calling him the Snake Handler.
That would be fun. Yeah, that would
handling the Viper.
That would be. They do like a promo where like Wyatt is playing a flute and Orton comes out of a little basket.
No, I'm thinking like
No,
those,
just
No,
kidding.
I'm with you.
no, I'm thinking those like really obscure like Southern Baptist churches where they do like snake handling, like where they take live snakes up and on the pulpit and they like, let the snakes bite them and shit.
Yeah.
And, like
Oh, this is WWE. It's got to be.
I wanna watch that. I
Alright.
want to watch Orton bite on Bray Wyatt's nipple. That would be fun.
bite my nipple, brother.
Yeah, I like it though. I like the direction. Once again, SmackDown proving that it's easily way better than Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, WWE, the things they need to fix is stop introducing things that have a long burn and then waiting so long that I don't care anymore. Because that's what's killing it for me. It's just I can't get over that, and I honestly have zero desire to see Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, which is their next big program.
Yeah, there's no in between with them. I mean, they pay off things too soon or they pay off things too late. They need to find that balance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least Survivor Series was enjoyable. I thought. I didn't think it was awful. I didn't think it was superb, but I liked enough of it where it didn't make me super angry. It was just the main event. Just personally was just confusing to me. I didn't understand it. I wasn't mad, but I was just, like I said, I was just kind of sad that's how they paid it off.
To me, the main event really kind of felt like, in a way, that it betrayed the logistical storytelling that they'd been building on for like 3 years.
But maybe
or
they
20,
weren't.
if you
Maybe
wanna
they
talk the
weren't
streak.
though. Maybe we're sitting here thinking, "Wow, they're protecting this guy Lesnar, and they're gonna bring up somebody and it's gonna destroy him. It's gonna be like the new guy." And backstage, they're just like, "Yeah, well, let's just have you like punch him and he'll bleed. That'd be cool." And then how about you just like suplex him a bunch? Okay, cool. And they're not thinking about the future at all. Period.
Well,
think
apparently,
that's where
from
it
what
is.
I've been reading, if you want to believe behind-the-scenes stuff, this whole thing about the extended program was Lesnar's idea. He saw
Yeah.
more money in this
Well,
going longer.
do you know why? Because he had to go out there and take 3 moves and got paid 3 times the amount Goldberg got paid.
Yep.
He just got paid like $1 million for a minute
Per
25
move.
or
Per
whatever.
It took him
move.
longer to get dressed than to do that.
Yeah, per move. He took the first spirit. His checkbook goes ding 1 million. Takes the second spirit ding 2 million.
Now, the
Yeah,
key
if-
thing with that, too, it's kind of funny when people are like, "Oh, why should I lose to Brock in 5 minutes after some suplexes? What'll that do for me?" Yeah, Brock lost to Goldberg in 4 moves in a minute. You're
That's
going to
true.
lose to Brock tonight.
I mean, it's
Okay.
true. You can no
It's
longer
that good,
argue
man,
that.
so-
Yeah, you can no longer argue why am I being squashed by Brock when he got squashed
He's only
by
around
Goldberg.
every 4 months. Yeah, Goldberg came
true.
back after 12 years and beat me in 3 moves.
Yeah.
You're going to lose tonight. Yeah,
I had a
Lesnar.
theory. I was thinking about this. I had a theory on this match. I think one thing that could have been a possibility is I don't think Brock gives a shit what they tell him to do. He'll do it. I don't. There's some people that say, "Oh, he gets mad if he doesn't." I don't. He doesn't care. He shows up. He goes, "Is my bank account filled with the unbelievable amount of cash you are giving me?" Vince goes, "Yes," and he goes, "Okay, I will do anything you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't care." He just wants money. So I think what happened here is because remember, it was like 3 years ago. They were trying to get Goldberg to come back to fight Ryback, right, on just like a kind of a one-off Mania match. And he wanted more money because apparently they were trying to lowball him. They were trying to give him less money than he wanted. So my theory is they told Goldberg, "We're going to still lowball you. We're not going to give you the money you want. We'll cut it in half, whatever it was. But you get to beat Brock and
You get
main
to
event."
Brock, and you get more dates, so you get more money.
Yeah, and you main event. And I think that's
now-
where they came to an agreement.
Brock and Goldberg are friends, too. So they're like, "Yeah, sure, okay, cool."
Yeah. But
There's no weird animosity between them like others have. They're friends.
I think they Bret Harted him though. I think that was because that was like the WCW stories where that Bret really cared more about the moments rather than the money. And I think that's how they got Goldberg back and Lesnar. I think if they told Lesnar to go out there and lay down for Heath Slater in 20 seconds, Lesnar would not give a fuck. He would do it. He
Probably
doesn't
not.
care.
It's like, how many zeros?
He doesn't.
There was
He,
8, right?
he
8
does not.
zeros? Yeah,
He doesn't
okay.
care.
All right.
He never has
No,
once
there's 7. Sure.
striked me as someone that gives a shit.
Yes,
So.
send that little ginger kid out here and pin me. Fuck.
But yeah, hey, that's pretty much it. Any other final thoughts on Survivor Series or Takeover?
I was going to say for Survivor Series, it's funny because Goldberg said he always wanted to show his son what he did back in the day.
Why was
And
his
what he
son
did-
shirtless?
I don't know. I don't know.
That was exactly what
I
he did. back in
don't
the day,
know.
though.
But he literally got to do it. I used to beat people in a minute, and it was cool. Really, Dad? Yeah, really. Look.
Why was he shirtless?
So what I want to see now,
He had to
there's
get
Goldberg's shirtless son. One of Brock Lesnar's sons is named Tank.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
I want to see Tank Lesnar fight son of Goldberg.
Yeah, well, son of Goldberg needs to fucking hit the weights first because he wasn't
Yeah.
looking too good with the shirt
He's a
off.
little flabby, yeah. Tank Lesnar. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't find out what his son's
Can we-
name. I forget, but
God-
one of
God,
them's
Dad.
named Tank.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well, hey, there you go, guys. What are your thoughts overall on both shows? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll have Jake back next time, and probably Rab and never Peanut. You were not missed.
Okay, so are we agreeing we're going to do the uppercut thing next show then?
Yeah, I mean, I literally only had one fucking person. It was Cesaro. I wasn't joking with you. We were gonna do a
I
top
thought
5
you were joking.
uppercuts, and literally
Yeah,
the only person I had was Cesaro. So
There's one dude that uppercut Kalisto on the last episode of SmackDown. It looks
Kendrick
good.
does them.
Like, don't-
Kendrick does it. That's all I know.
Gulak?
only
Well-
Lorcan.
We'll save.
Whatever
His-
Lorcan.
that-
Yeah,
his
he's
NXT
awesome.
name.
He's awesome, by the way, because he was in
Yeah,
PWG.
that
He's
was good
great.
uppercut.
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, we'll save that for the next show. And yeah, overall, just let us know your thoughts down below. And thank you for listening to us rant on about sweaty men touching each other in inappropriate ways. What were your final thoughts, by the way, everybody in the comments, on Goldberg's flabby son not wearing a shirt for some reason? Yeah. There you go. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.